Hi there, smart chose to tune into EHEDG Connect's Ask an Expert. Our expert of the day is Debra Smith. She's a global hygiene specialist at Vikan. And Vikan is a globally active supplier of cleaning equipment to the food industry and also to the pharmaceutical industry. And they also do training. It's a very active EHEDG company member. Now, Debra, or Deb as she prefers to be called, is so much more than just a job title. She has quite an impressive academic background. And, well, Deb, maybe you can say something about that yourself, please.
My background is that I'm a microbiologist. I studied while I was working for a large poultry processor. I was working in their micro labs, but I studied microbiology at that point. And then I actually did a second degree when I was older in food science and nutrition. So that's my training background. Work-wise, I, as I said, started in a poultry factory on the floor doing sampling for the micro testing of the products. I then moved on to work for the UK government in their food safety division as a research scientist. That was to do with radiological safety of food. Then I worked for Campden BRI as the research manager in their food hygiene department, and now I'm working for Vikan.
You published a very interesting white paper recently. The link is down below. And that addresses some tips that you provide to food processing companies on how they can optimize the safety, actually, of their staff workers. And you refer to the virus that I have come to know as the coronavirus or the COVID-19 virus as the SARS-CoV-2, the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Can you explain us this difference in naming?
So SARS-CoV-2 is the actual name of the virus. COVID-19 is the name of the disease that the virus causes. And when we're talking about using cleaning and disinfection to control the virus, we're not talking about controlling the infection, because that's something that would be achieved through but some kind of inoculation. What we're trying to do in the environment with cleaning and disinfection is to control the actual viral particle, which is the SARS-CoV-2.
Now, just to make something very clear, there is absolutely no scientific evidence at this point that there is any relation between the spreading of the virus and how the food industry functions globally, right?
That's absolutely true. So far, the World Health Organization and the European Food Safety Authority have all come out to say that there is no link between the transmission of the disease or the virus through food.
What do you think is the responsibility of the food industry in response to the COVID-19 virus?
A World Health Organization webinar that I attended recently, the comment was made that after the health workers, the guys on the front line producing the food are the second most critical to this COVID response. So ensuring their health and well-being throughout this time is definitely key.
How did you know where to start and what the scope would be?
Obviously, there's so much information out there about the coronavirus that we needed to have a focus, and obviously the focus was on the cleaning and disinfection practices. So really it's about trying to minimize the presence of the viral particle in the environment. So we're looking at stressing the importance of cleaning prior to disinfection for visibly dirty surfaces, the selection of the appropriate decontamination method and equipment and chemicals, information related to microfiber in particular, the use of microfiber. That's something that's been mentioned quite a lot, and how appropriate that is with and without the use of chemicals. Any documentation specifically related to SARS-CoV-2 that can help our readers to find the right information that isn't covered in the white paper, because there's too much for us to add that. The key point about using the frequent decontamination of those touch points, and advice on hand washing and gloving.
Mm-hmm. Why is it so important to use microfiber materials?
It's not so important. It was just that was one of the options that were being put to us as should we be using more microfiber. Microfiber is really effective at removing bacteria from a surface, and we see no reason why it wouldn't be equally as effective at removing viral particles. But unlike the virus particle is still going to remain infective in that microfiber material if that microfiber isn't used with a disinfectant. And if you use a disinfectant, the action of the microfibers is actually compromised. So it's kind of a balance. What do? Do you use a microfiber because they're really good at picking up the particles, or do you use a microfiber with chemical because then you inactivate the particles in the microfiber? So it was just about microfiber management, maybe using disposable microfiber so that you don't have the risk of cross-contamination, or that you launder the microfiber after that has been reusable microfiber after use to prevent any risk of cross-contamination.
If you compare it in general with microbes, is it easier or more difficult to clean?
This particular virus is very easy to clean. The envelope that it has that kind of protects it normally is very easily disrupted by most disinfectants. Obviously, particularly those that have been identified through the European norms. But yes, it's very easy for us to deal with in terms of cleaning and disinfection.
Well, I assume that your clients have their cleaning processes in place and everything is working fine. But in your paper, you give some extra suggestions, some things that they can do additionally to protect their workers in these times of Corona, right?
In general, we would advise them just to continue as they are. As you say, they all have very robust systems already in place. What they need to do is to focus on those more frequently touched points within the environment that they're working. So that could be door handles, guardrails on stairs, taps, computer screens, whichever environment they're in, anything that's frequently touched, particularly those surfaces that are touched by different individuals, so that the virus can transfer from person to person by that touch. Other things for them to now focus on.
What about the rule of social distancing, Debra? Is that something that is easily accomplished in food processing environments?
Unfortunately, not in all environments where the food production happens, no. I think this has been one of the biggest challenges that our food production customers have faced. In fact, I know the industry is struggling in general because people are concerned about the social distancing on food production lines, and obviously want to ensure their own safety. There have been a number of ideas about how to combat that by introducing different shifts, so you have less people but more shifts, but you only have so much time in a day, and also use of protective equipment like face shields.
Thank you, Debra Smith, for your explanations. Very valuable. You've been a worthy expert of the day.
You're very welcome.
Thank you also, Debra, for your white paper. The link is down below, and viewers, dear viewers, if you want to leave any comments, please also leave them in the comment section below.